She didn't become unforgettable by trying to be loud. Kiki Peters became unforgettable by being consistent. In a world where trends rise and fall overnight, where people chase attention like it's oxygen, she built her name with a different kind of power, the kind that comes from elegance, discipline, and quiet confidence. Today, when her photos appear on your screen, they don't just look stylish. They feel intentional. They carry a mood, a message, and a signature that is uniquely hers. Kiki Peters is not just another Instagram fashion influencer. She is a modern symbol of how self-belief, presentation, and persistence can turn a personal passion into a global identity. And if you love discovering the inspiring stories behind today's most captivating models and fashion influencers, this is your moment to join Sweet Models World, where we bring you the biographies, journeys, and glow-up stories of the women shaping the digital fashion era. Kiki Peters has become known for her polished aesthetic, fashion-forward confidence, and ability to turn even the simplest outfit into a statement. But behind every flawless photo is a journey that most people never see. The truth is, nobody wakes up famous. Nobody simply appears online with a perfect life and a perfect wardrobe. What we see on Instagram is often the result of years of effort, trial, and growth. Kiki's story reflects that reality. She represents the new generation of models who didn't wait for a runway invitation or a magazine cover to prove they belonged. Instead, she used the world's biggest stage, the internet, and built her own spotlight. While many influencers struggle to stand out in an oversaturated space, Kiki Peters carved her own lane through consistency and authenticity. She developed a personal brand that feels both luxurious and relatable. Her fashion content is not just about clothing. It is about confidence. It is about showing up, even when you don't feel ready. It is about presenting yourself as the person you want to become until you grow into that identity naturally. Like many modern influencers, Kiki's early life is not fully documented publicly in detail, which is common for creators who prefer to keep their personal background private. But what stands out is how she has allowed her work to speak louder than her personal headlines. That itself is a statement. In an era where oversharing is often rewarded, Kiki maintains an aura of mystery while still connecting with her audience through style, visuals, and lifestyle storytelling. She appears to have developed her love for fashion from an early stage, not necessarily because of luxury labels or glamour, but because fashion is a language. It allows people to express personality without speaking. It allows someone to communicate confidence even when they are still building it inside. Over time, this interest grew into something more serious. It became a creative outlet, a purpose, a possible career. What makes Kiki Peters stand out is how she understands that modeling today is no longer limited to agencies and catwalks. Modeling in the digital age is a full package. It's about photography, branding, posture, presentation, storytelling, and knowing how to command attention without begging for it. She embodies that modern definition. She is both the model and the director, the muse and the manager, the face and the force behind the brand. Her rise on Instagram didn't happen by accident. It happened because she learned the art of creating visuals that people stop scrolling for. That is one of the most valuable skills in today's attention economy. Many influencers post outfits. Few influencers create moments. Kiki creates moments. Whether she is dressed in sleek streetwear, elegant neutral tones, or bold statement pieces, she delivers a feeling. Her audience doesn't just admire her outfits, they admire her aura. Her fashion sense reflects a balance between modern trends and timeless class. That is part of why she has been able to maintain relevance. She isn't simply chasing what is popular. She is curating a style identity. And that is the difference between an influencer who goes viral for a week and an influencer who builds a career for years. As her presence grew, so did her opportunities. Fashion influencing naturally attracts attention from brands, photographers, and creative teams searching for faces that represent the modern market. Kiki Peters, with her refined look and consistent content, position herself as the kind of influencer brands trust. In the fashion world, trust is everything. Brands want someone who doesn't just wear their product but enhances it, elevates it, and gives it a story. Kiki's Instagram presence suggests she understands how to create a high-end vibe even without excessive extravagance. This is a key skill among top influencers. It's not about spending the most money. It's about knowing how to style, how to pose, how to choose the right lighting, and how to build a theme. She uses clean visuals, coordinated colors, and confident framing to create content that feels premium. But even with beauty and fashion talent, the influencer lifestyle is not always easy. Behind the scenes, it requires constant discipline. It requires planning outfits, scheduling shoots, editing photos, managing engagement, responding to collaborations, and staying creative even when the mind feels tired. It also requires emotional strength because social media success can come with pressure, criticism, and unrealistic expectations. Kiki Peters appears to have mastered one of the most important lessons for long-term success. You cannot control opinions, but you can control your effort. Every successful influencer reaches a point where people start watching closely. Some watch because they admire. Some watch because they compare. Some watch because they criticize. But the strongest creators don't let the noise decide their direction. They keep going. They keep evolving. They keep building. And this is where her story becomes motivational. Because Kiki Peters represents the kind of success that isn't based on shortcuts. She represents slow, steady, consistent progress. She is proof that you can start with a phone camera, a vision, and a sense of style, and still build a platform that attracts thousands, even millions of eyes. Her content is not only about fashion, it is also about lifestyle. This is another reason her audience continues to grow. People are not just buying into her outfits, they are buying into her world. Her posts create the feeling of aspiration, the feeling that elegance is possible, that beauty can be intentional, and that a confident life is something you can build step by step. In the world of Instagram influencing, image is currency. But Kiki Peters seems to understand that the strongest image is one that feels authentic. Her style doesn't feel forced. Her presence doesn't feel desperate. And that calm confidence is powerful. It draws people in because it feels real. Her modeling journey is also an example of how the fashion industry has changed. Years ago, models needed to be discovered by agencies. Today, models can discover themselves. They can build their own audience and attract the industry to them. Kiki is part of that revolution. She represents the new era where self-made models can rise without waiting for permission. The influence of someone like Kiki Peters goes beyond likes and comments. She inspires young women who want to feel confident in their own skin. She inspires creators who want to build a personal brand. She inspires fashion lovers who want to experiment with style without fear. She inspires people who want to reinvent themselves. And perhaps that is the biggest reason she continues to stand out. She is not just selling clothing. She is selling confidence. Another impressive part of her public image is her ability to stay visually consistent. Consistency is not just about posting regularly. It is about maintaining a recognizable vibe. When people see her content, they know it is her. That is branding at its highest level. Many influencers struggle with identity. They post random content, chase random trends, and confuse their audience. Kiki appears to avoid that trap. She posts with intention. She creates a world that feels curated and cohesive. As her platform continues to grow, she fits perfectly into the category of influencers who can transition into bigger opportunities. Many Instagram models eventually move into entrepreneurship, fashion collaborations, personal clothing lines, brand ambassadorships, and even media appearances. Kiki Peters has the kind of polished online presence that can open doors to those higher-level achievements. But beyond the glamour, what truly makes her story cinematic is the idea of transformation. The glow-up isn't just physical. It is mental. It is spiritual. It is the process of becoming. Because before the followers, Before the attention, before the polished photos, there is always a beginning. There is always a version of the person who doubted themselves. A version who didn't know if anyone would care. A version who posted content and got little response. A version who had to learn angles, lighting, editing, confidence, and branding through trial and error. That version of Kiki Peters existed too. And the reason she is successful now is because she didn't quit during that stage. That is what separates the dreamers from the builders. Many people want the results, but they don't want the process. Many want the attention, but they don't want the work. Many want the lifestyle, but they don't want the discipline. Kiki Peters represents someone who chose the process. And that is why her results speak loudly today. Her journey also reminds us that the internet rewards those who show up consistently. It doesn't always reward those who are the most talented. It rewards those who stay in the game long enough to be noticed. That is why her story is inspirational. It teaches that your future doesn't depend on luck alone. It depends on effort meeting opportunity. In a world where people are constantly comparing themselves to others, Kiki Peters is an example of how powerful it is to focus on your own lane. She didn't need to copy someone else's style to be relevant. She built her own. She didn't need to become controversial to be visible. She became consistent. She didn't need to chase validation. She built value. And this is the kind of lesson that applies beyond fashion. Whether you are trying to build a business, a career, a brand, or a dream, her story carries the same message. Keep building, even when nobody is clapping. Kiki Peters continues to grow as a recognizable name in the Instagram fashion influencer space because she understands what many people ignore. Being beautiful is not enough. Being fashionable is not enough. Being trendy is not enough. To last, you need identity. You need discipline. You need vision. She is part of a generation that is rewriting what success looks like. She proves you can turn creativity into income, style into influence, and social media into a career. She also proves that confidence is not something you are born with. It is something you build. And the most powerful part is that her story is still unfolding. She is still rising, still evolving, still building her legacy photo by photo, post by post, step by step. So the next time you see Kiki Peters on your screen, remember that what you are seeing is not just fashion content. You are seeing the result of commitment. You are seeing the result of self-belief. You are seeing the result of someone who decided that their dreams deserved effort. And if you enjoyed this cinematic biography and you want more inspiring stories of Instagram models, fashion influencers, and rising stars, make sure you stay connected with Sweet Models World. This is where we celebrate beauty, ambition, confidence, and the journeys that prove success is possible for anyone willing to keep going. Because the truth is simple. The world will always notice the person who refuses to quit. And Kiki Peters is living proof.